In today's mental health check, we are diving into the millennial mindset. Millennials are people born, in case you don't know, between 1981 to 1996, and they're often referred to as the unluckiest generation. But our next guest says there's a lot we can learn from millennials, a group that she calls the most roasted, but also the most resilient generation. Joining us now, mindset coach and author Katie Horwitch is with us again. Katie, good to see you.
Good to see you always.
I love that you say the most roasted, but also
and
resilient.
Also the most resilient.
There are, you say, some misconceptions or myths about millennials. Let's start there.
Going there. All right.
Dispel those for us.
All right. So the reason why millennials are struggling to hit certain markers that maybe other generations have, i.e. buying a home, is not because we bought too much avocado toast or we're spending money on lattes. I will say that we get roasted a lot for being cringe, which I actually love. I say to millennials, embrace your cringe. The cringe, the earnestness, the care is actually our superpower.
It's usually the Gen Z, the younger generation, calling you guys cringy, right?
Well, we've got it from the older generations, too.
And by the way, I'm a proud Gen Xer sitting here.
Love.
I do not qualify for a millennial category.
But you have a millennial mindset.
Tell me about that. What is a millennial mindset, and how can we all adopt that?
Yeah, so a millennial mindset, I want to be clear that anyone can adopt any mindset. However, like I said, certain generations have certain superpowers. A millennial mindset, it involves resilience from facing one major unprecedented event after the other, and a level of adaptability that maybe generations before us haven't had to reckon with, an earnestness, we care, and a pragmatic positivity. So we're not optimistic just to be optimistic. And thing that I love is that millennials define success on their own terms.
And on some of that, there was a recent poll that found that millennials are the most optimistic, right, of the generations.
Yeah, people might think that is sort of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
However, millennials have a very clear memory of what came before. And we also are fluent in the systems that we created to sort of change things. So we're familiar with life pre and post public internet, for example.
Yes.
And so we're fluent in that system. However, we're able to problem solve and be solution oriented. And that gives us a level of optimism that allows us to see what's possible.
What's a word, if you could choose, like in a word, how would you describe the generation? I know it's kind of hard, but the generation compared to others.
We're going to do a compound word.
Okay.
I'd say earnest optimism. We are not optimistic in a ironic way, where we care and we don't shy away from caring. And other generations care too. Like, for example,
I was just going to say, wait, but I'm Gen X and I'm optimistic.
Well, and something that I love about Gen X, for example, Gen X, you paved the way when it came to work-life balance, especially as a Gen X woman.
I think that's true.
Also, Gen X, they're super independent, and they have that problem-solving chip that's been able to be passed down to generations.
I love that you're celebrating millennials, because they do get a lot of heat.
Yes.
They take a lot, so somebody needs to stand up for
And there's
the
something to celebrate about every single generation, and sometimes the things that feel the most ugh are the things that actually make you exactly who you're supposed to be.
Right, make you special. Katie Horwitch, thank you. There's much more news ahead. You're watching NBC News Daily.